Hello everybody, it's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Today, we got us another Goose Island Bourbon County brand Stout. This is we did the 2014 edition of the Stout and the barley wine not long ago. This is the 2013 edition, and I also have a barley wine in that same year. When I looked on Untappd, they had the 2013 listed, but they have it listed as a 14.9%. According to the label on this one, it's 14.2%. So very unusual for Untappd to have wrong information for the year that they're saying it is. But maybe they did it twice that year, and maybe one was a 14.2 and the other one was a 14.9. I don't have any idea. But the one I have here, the label says it's 14.2%. And of course, Beer Advocate doesn't differentiate. They show the picture of the new bottle, not the old one like this. You get into trouble when you sell these beers for as long as this one, as old as this one is, getting the correct information. So I also had 3 subscribers, just like the last time, that sent me these beers. This one, I had 3 of them come, one from Matt, one from Rico, and one from Ewan. So we're shouting all 3 of them out. I'm so glad that I have subscribers that send me beers, but a lot of times on some of these excellent beers, like this probably will be, or usually is, I get multiple copies of the same beer, and that was the case on this one. I had 3 different subscribers send me this same beer. So we're shouting out all 3 of them because I'm not going to do it again anytime soon. If there's another one left in there, I don't know. If there's one in the closet cellaring, I don't have any more in the fridge, so we're not going to do it again anytime soon. So this is the 2013 edition, so let's get on with it. 14.2%, and I can't tell you what the IBUs are on this one since it's a 14.2, and Untappd has it at 14.9. The 14.9 was 60 IBUs, so I do not know. We can just give you the information that I could find. Brewed in honor with the 100,000th batch of our original Claiborne brew pub, a liquid as dark and dense as black hole with thick foam in the color of a bourbon barrel. The nose is an intense mix of charred oak, chocolate, vanilla, caramel, and smoke. One sip has more flavor than your average case of beer, and I think that was the same thing they listed for the other one on the 2014 edition. So, same description. So that is all we need to talk about. I'm usually very impressed with this series of beer, even though AB InBev owns them. They are still letting these guys at the Chicago location brew a tasty beer. So let's see what the 13 edition brings to the table. See if this was just as impressive as the 14 edition. I got a feeling it probably will be. But we're emptying out the closets and the cellaring fridge because I'm getting more IPAs and pale ales and double IPAs than I am stouts. So I usually like to try to mix that up a little bit and do a pale ale or an IPA and a stout or a barley wine, because that's the only 2 beers I get per day now. So with that being said, let's get it on. Let's get it opened up, get it into the glass, and see what we got. I'm going to go right down the center on this one, guys, being a 14%er. Don't think it's going to pour a massive head. It usually does not. And this one did not either. It's just barely covering the top of the beer on that super aggressive pour, maybe an 1/8 inch on the outside, but I can see the beer through the bottom there. So it didn't pour hardly any head at all. Very dark, not getting any light. It is pitch black, guys. To the nose we go. Hints of bourbon. Oh yes. Rich roasted malt. A little bit of black molasses. Yeah, nice sweet smell to it. Smells absolutely awesome, guys. These beers are very tasty fresh, and they are still very tasty after you cellar them. This is 2019. This is a 2013 edition. It is selling very, very well. The aroma is there. The bourbon is still there. Awesome smelling beer. Let's dive in. Cheers, Matt, Rico, and E1. Thank you all. Awesome. Big bourbon notes. A little bit of black molasses. You may find a slight hint of some bittersweet chocolate in there, but I think the bourbon is overpowering that. Might be some dark fruit in there once it warms up, which we will do, as we always do. But the bourbon notes, when you say Bourbon County, and it's a bourbon barrel aged beer, you want to smell that bourbon. You want to taste that bourbon, because you're paying a premium price for the beer. And you want to be able to taste it. There are some beers that have a little bit bigger bourbon notes, and there are some that have hardly any bourbon notes, and they claiming it to be bourbon barrel. So this is pretty tasty, guys. If you can get your hands on it, you like this style of beer, this would be a good one to pick up to drink fresh or cellar. A little bit of woodiness in there, maybe a slight hint of vanilla or coconut from the barrels. Awesome beer. Absolutely awesome. Fantastic. Outstanding. World class. Delicious beer. Delicious beer. If you look it up in the dictionary of a bourbon barrel aged stout, it ought to have this picture there, because it is pretty tasty. And like I said, this one's in the old bottle, the regular plain Jane 12-ounce bottle. They are bottling these in a special bottle now, an embossed bottle. The older bottles like this one are not. So, but this beer is one to pick up. And if you can afford to pick up multiples, drink one fresh and sell one for 3, 4, 5 years or 10 years. Or this beer is going to be good 20 years or more down the road, especially this big of an alcohol. So, tasty beer. I'm going to sip on it for a while and be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on it for a while. Definitely up to room temperature. Very tasty beer. World class. Outstanding. For the distribution that these guys have, probably be a good one to pick up if you can get your hands on it. Like I said earlier, got all the bourbon notes that you want in a bourbon barrel aged stout. Very easy drinking for an almost 14.2% on this particular one. Awesome. It is absolutely outstanding, guys. It's definitely worth trying if you can get your hands on it. Probably for what it is and for what it costs, probably one of the best bourbon barrel aged stouts available. Now there are others and they cost more that are just as tasty, but for the price of this, it's absolutely excellent. I don't think for the price per ounce, I don't think you can do better. As much as I hate to support AB and Bev, they are letting these guys in Chicago do an excellent bourbon barrel aged stout. It is very, very tasty, guys. I think it's awesome. I do. It is. It's outstanding. It's world class. Final chug. Absolutely delicious. The bourbon notes are there. Black molasses, slight hints of some bittersweet chocolate, a little bit of dark fruit, day trays and plums or figs, but it's hard to detect that with the bourbon notes. They seem to be a little overpowering for those aromas and tastes to come out. But it's awesome, guys. It's a 10 for me. I think I gave the 2014 edition the same grade. The 13 is cellar just as well. Awesome beer. If you got this in your cellar, you can drink it now or you can let it sit there. It's it's still going to be just as tasty years down the road, as far as I can tell. So, with that being said, 10 for me, guys. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 4.6 out of 5, world class. I agree. And over to Untapped, they have it at 4.64. Awesome numbers from everybody there. It's definitely a top 10, if not a top 2 or 3. To me, it's world class. It's I couldn't ask for anything more, and I would buy it if I could get it here. And it may show up. We do get some of their stuff, but it doesn't show up anywhere other than a craft beer store. Kroger's or the little gas stations that sell craft beer. Not seen it there. So you would have to go to a craft beer store to pick this up. And I would say you may or may not, depending on where you're at, your location, have to get on a list to get it. Because I would say this flies off the shelf as soon as it shows up. I'm sure it does around here. So it's like KBS and a lot of the other ones that almost have a cult following. When it shows up, it doesn't last long, and around here you're limited to usually one, depending on the quantities that they're able to get their hands on. So, great beer, excellent beer, world-class beer. So, this is a 2013 edition of the Goose Island Bourbon County brand Imperial Stout. If you've had it recently, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.